Pharaoh Tutankhamun, also known as the Boy King, was one of Egypt's most famous pharaohs. Let's find out why. What was Tutankhamun's origin story? How did he become pharaoh? What were some of his accomplishments? And finally, how did he die? Welcome to my channel. Today, we are going to look at the life of Pharaoh Tutankhamun. Viewer discretion is advised for this video, as some of this video may be offensive or disturbing. We, the makers of this video, in no way support or condone the actions of the subjects featured. Tutankhamun, commonly referred to as the Boy King, was an Egyptian pharaoh of the 18th dynasty. He ruled from 1332 to 1323 BCE. His father was Pharaoh Akhenaten, and his mother was Queen Kia. However, it is possible that Tutankhamun had no biological relationship with Akhenaten, since he likely inherited his throne from his father at age 9 or 10. It was believed that Tutankhamun was born with a club foot, making him unfit to rule over Egypt. But his father changed his mind later and decided to make him his heir apparent. The reason behind this decision could be due to the fact that he might have been born with a physical deformity, but was mentally competent enough to rule. At the age of 9, Tutankhamun was officially made the Crown Prince of Egypt. He also took on the royal name of Tutankhamun, which means living image of Ra. When Akhenaten died, Tutankhamun succeeded him as pharaoh at the age of 10. He reigned for approximately 9 years. Although his reign was brief, he accomplished many things. Unfortunately, much of what we know about him today comes from speculation because there are not many historical records from his era. One reason for this is that many artifacts from his reign were destroyed during the reign of his successor, Pharaoh Smenkhare. As mentioned earlier, Tutankhamun was born with a physical deformity. This is evident in many statues and carvings depicting him, where his left leg is shown in a bent position. Also, several X-ray images show that his left foot was smaller than his right foot. These findings suggest that he likely had a club foot. Club foot is a condition in which a child is born with their feet twisted out of shape. Another theory about Tutankhamun's origin is that he was the son of Pharaoh Akhenaten and his full sister, Hatshepsut. If this were true, this would make him the nephew of Pharaoh Smenkhare. This theory is based on the fact that both Tutankhamun and Smenkhare shared the same unique middle name, Khenta Ka-Ra, which means the soul of Ra. However, there is no real evidence to back up this claim. During Tutankhamun's reign, Egypt experienced political and religious turmoil. When he came into power, he reversed many of the policies implemented by his father, including returning the capital city back to Thebes. He also reinstated the traditional Egyptian gods that his father had neglected. In addition, he sent an apology letter to the Hittites after his father had previously declared war on them. Tutankhamun's advisors played a major role in these decisions. They wanted to undo the damage that Akhenaten had done to Egypt during his reign. For example, Akhenaten's foreign policy had strained relations with several important allies, including the Hittites. As a result, Tutankhamun took a more conciliatory approach towards them. By sending the letter, Tutankhamun hoped to restore peace between the two nations. In addition to solving diplomatic issues, Tutankhamun's advisors also wanted to stabilize the economy. Under Akhenaten's rule, Egypt had suffered from economic decline due to the emphasis placed on the worship of one god, Aten. This neglect had led to the deterioration of public works and social services. By restoring traditional religion, Tutankhamun's advisors hoped to reignite public enthusiasm and rebuild the economy. Despite these challenges, Tutankhamun accomplished many great things during his reign. He commissioned the construction of several important buildings, including a temple at Karnak and a palace at Amarna. He also restored the old capital city of Thebes and made it the center of government once again. Additionally, he established a new capital city called Amarna. This city was located in the middle of the Egyptian desert and was intended to be a religious center. Finally, he implemented several economic reforms that helped to stabilize the country's finances. Tutankhamun's achievements were not limited to the realm of politics and economics. He was also a patron of the arts and sciences. During his reign, there was a revival of Egyptian culture and learning. This was in part due to the influence of his wife, Ankhesenamun. She encouraged her husband to support artists and scholars, and he obliged by providing them with generous grants and building them workshops. As a result, many great works of art and literature were produced during Tutankhamun's reign. One of the most important things to note about Tutankhamun is that he was a very young pharaoh. He came to power when he was only 10 years old and died at the age of 19. This means that he had little experience in ruling over such a vast empire. Despite his youth, he was able to accomplish many great things during his reign. This is a testament to his intelligence and ability as a leader. Tutankhamun was also known for his piety. He was a devout worshiper of the Egyptian gods, and he made every effort to please them. This is reflected in the many temples and monuments that he built. For example, he constructed a temple at Karnak, dedicated to the god Amun. He also built a number of small shrines throughout Egypt. In addition to being pious, Tutankhamun was also very generous. He gave freely to the poor, and he supported those in need. This is evident in the many reliefs that depict him giving gifts to the needy. Unfortunately, Tutankhamun's reign was cut short when he died at the age of 19. The cause of his death is unknown, but it is believed that he may have died from complications of malaria. Another theory is that he was the victim of a conspiracy by his advisors who wanted him dead so they could take over Egypt. Regardless of the cause of his death, Tutankhamun's legacy lived on. He is remembered as one of Egypt's greatest pharaohs, despite his short reign. The discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb in 1922 by Howard Carter was one of the most significant archaeological finds of the 20th century. The tomb contained a number of valuable artifacts, including a golden burial mask. This mask is now one of the most iconic pieces of ancient Egyptian art and is displayed in the British Museum. In addition to the golden burial mask, Tutankhamun's tomb contained a number of other treasures. These included chariots, furniture, jewelry, and various other personal belongings. The discovery of these items provided valuable insight into the life and death of the young pharaoh. Since the discovery of his tomb, there have been several theories about how he died. Some believe that he was murdered, while others believe that he died from natural causes. However, the most widely accepted theory is that he died from complications of malaria. This theory is supported by the fact that his skeleton shows signs of the disease. Despite the various theories, the true cause of his death may never be known. The discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb also raised a number of ethical questions. Many people felt that the artifacts found in the tomb should be returned to Egypt. However, the Egyptian government at the time was not interested in pursuing this. They felt that the artifacts were too valuable to be displayed in a local museum, and would rather have them in world-class museums like the British Museum. This decision sparked a national debate in Egypt about the ownership of cultural artifacts. The debate is still ongoing, and it remains to be seen if any of the artifacts will ever be returned to Egypt. Overall, Tutankhamun was a remarkable pharaoh. Despite his short reign, he accomplished many great things, and his legacy lives on today. The discovery of his tomb in 1922 was one of the most significant archaeological finds of the 20th century. What are your thoughts on the life of Tutankhamun? Do you think he was the victim of a conspiracy, or did he die from natural causes? Let us know in the comments below. We hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos. Thanks for watching.